Hey guys, welcome back. This is your third mini dose, and I believe it's going to be the last one for a while. Welcome to Double Dose of Raw Talk podcast with your favorite host, Miss D. And usually, you guys have been getting a Tuesday mini-sode series, a dose for the soul, where I give you a deeper look into my soul, and you guys know what I am present with. And then you get full episodes on Thursdays. But for the last now this is the third week, I've decided to make a really cute combination and just give you guys mini doses. And we officially have a full episode coming in next week. But I just needed this break. I've definitely highlighted a little bit, the need for it. You would think after 7 weeks of just being a virtual mom that I would be, good, just acclimated to the new job. And I am very much so. But coming back from picking up my child and having to acclimate to now balancing being a mom, face to face, and the new job and new schedule, and it's been an alternating schedule. Balancing a lot of things out has been fairly difficult, and not because so much so with time, not because so much so with schedules. Listen, there's been some schedule changes, there's been some time constraints, like there's been all of that, but the part where it's become difficult, it's been honestly and truthfully my mental. As you guys know, I've always been very consistent with my therapy sessions. It is something that I've been able to do with my old job, right? There was a program I was in, I was able to do it consistently, and it was fantastic. It was great. It was something that I was able to get into from the very beginning when I first started there. After leaving, I am no longer able to reap those benefits. And so to continue receiving, my therapeutic services, I would have to do it now on my own, obviously with my own insurance and whatnot. And so, yes, I do have a good insurance, but it's actually finding now the right person, is actually finding now the who I'm going to feel comfortable with to start this with again, right? It's been a harsh transition for me to have to do that. And I have not been able to reach that point where I said, okay, this is the one, this is the person, this is who's going to be able to get me there. And so I have not been receiving my consistent sessions like I normally would. It's been fairly difficult because there are things going on that I'm still trying to, and I know I can, but because they're happening so fast, right? This is when time plays a huge part. And it's back to back. It just feels like it's all adding up. It just feels like it's all piling up for me. And, it's again the schedule of my new job. My child, this is not just any type of schooling, this is now high school, so things are different. He is also not part of athletic team. It is, the responsibilities of what that's going to look like for him, balancing it out for him, teaching him how to do it, helping him through it. And for myself, balancing work, balancing schedules. There's been changes at work, and not necessarily bad ones. It's more so acclimating to the unexpected. And again, now that I can't do it, in fact, because I have done it at some point in my life, and they know this, it's kind of like, we need you. And I've had to step in, right? And it's still very much so aligned with what my purpose is there. It's still very much so aligned with what I came there to do. And that still, goes hand in hand with my purpose as a mother. And all the while this is going on, I feel like I have not been able to fully take care of me. You guys know I had to check myself with how my body was talking to me. I shared it a couple of episodes ago. I had a fucking kidney stone. I didn't even realize. And why? Because those are the effects of a very toxic environment. Those are the effects of how crazy things got for me for months and months and months and months, not being able to take care of me physically, right? Now even trying to get back into, once again, the training schedule. It's been so difficult. It's been so difficult, so much so that I have postponed my one-to-one trainings with my personal trainer because emotionally and mentally I'm just not there. Emotionally, I've been a mess. Emotionally, I've broken down so many times. And I'll give you a key example of how this goes. And I have absolutely no shame in sharing this because you guys are actually going to hear about this on next week's episode with the very amazing, well, the full episode with a very amazing guest that I have the honor of having had this conversation with, of still being able to see the other side of things. But for me, specifically as a single mother, specifically as a single mother who does have a co-parent relationship, but unfortunately it is at a distance. And I'm gonna say unfortunately, right? Because it is in times when school starts, it is in times when there's acclimation that needs to be involved to new schedules, new structures. It is in times where there's just so much that needs to happen, that when I find myself doing it by myself, when I find myself being the one and only person who can do it, and I have to constantly turn to my village to help out, right? Because I can't just take days off of work. I've had to just jump into a plan A, plan B, plan C, right? And there's still so much I have to do, y'all. Like today alone, I have to go ahead and finalize so many things as a mother, as a single mother, right? When it's times like that, and yes, it's in the beginning of the school year, right? I do have a shift. I have a shift in my mind. I have a shift in my thoughts. I don't want to dive too much into what that shift is because you guys are going to hear about it on next week's episode, because I did get very candid with my guests on what are those emotions, what are those thoughts, right? And it's not to say that you know, I don't have a co-parenting relationship that is sustainable. I have had it for many years now. But ever so often it does feel like steps get taken back, and it does feel like things could get done better. And I do have that shift in my mindset because at the end of the day, the idea and the concept of being a quote unquote strong woman, of being a quote unquote strong single mother, the other concept that goes along with that hand in hand is I'll always figure it out. I'm always going to figure it out. I got this. We just always take care of it. We just always figure it out. And I've noticed, especially, I don't know if it is just because it's the school year of high school and it just so happens to be me getting a new job at the same time, but I do notice that that has been my concept for a very long time, for years. And it has fallen into so many buckets of my life. I'm just always going to figure it out. I'm just always going to take care of it. You know, I got this. And it's so easy to say that, right? It's so motivating to say that. It's so supportive to say that to someone, to say that to yourself, right? I'm here preaching over and over again. Be your own hype woman. Be your number one cheerleader. You know, motivate yourself, hype yourself out, give yourself that support, have those pep talks with yourself, look in the mirror, you know, give yourself those affirmations. And I stick by that. But at what point are we not also able to say, well, hold up a second, I'm fucking human too? And all of this, all the affirmations, all that positivity, all the hype is not always going to work. I have chosen to, in these last couple of days, because my mindset has shifted, and it wasn't necessarily for the better, I've chosen to be a little distant, and I've chosen to just stay in my own little bubble and pick and choose wisely the things that I say and the things that I share. And not with you guys, obviously. I'm letting y'all know what's going on, but with actual people that I know, that I've been close to, that I am close to, that I consider family and friends. I've chosen to do so because lately it does feel like, since I don't have the support that I used to from a therapy standpoint, not yet at least, because I know I'm going to be able to find my person. Y'all, this sounds like a relationship. This is so terrible. I was so devastated when I could no longer continue with my therapist. Y'all have no idea. Until I find that person that's going to be able to connect with my life, right? Not me connect with them, but them connect with my life. And I can trust and share so much with, that they are really going to be able to help me. You know, I don't want to fall into those situations that I might say the wrong things to someone, or I might interpret, right? I might perceive things that are said to me the wrong way. Because y'all, is a thin line. It's a thin line. I'm gonna be like, well, what did you say? Are you trying to, like, I don't want that. You have to be very self-aware and just know how far your limits can go. And that's exactly what I wanted to come share with you guys here. Emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, it's been trying. It's been very trying times for me just in the last week. It's been extremely difficult. It's been extremely hard. I've been an emotional mess, an emotional wreck. All the little things that have changed so suddenly, unexpected things, have truly put me in a mindset that was not positive at all. Going through the positive thoughts of the day has helped. You guys know I've been doing this little challenge for 30 days. And to be honest with y'all, I said, for the next 30 days. And I've already lost count to how many days it's been. So you know what? We're just going to keep it pushing. We're just going to keep going. We're just going to keep sharing the positive thoughts, even if I'm a day late. Because let's face it, time is of the essence. And sometimes there's just not enough time in a day. So I have been able to find a little bit of comfort in sharing what is that positive thought of the day, right? Committing to knowing that every single day cannot not have at least one positive thought in the day that I could reflect on and say that was dope, right? There has to be a little bit more on every single day, despite how trying it's been emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. And I think that has definitely been therapeutic in itself for myself. It's been rewarding to be able to highlight that on my days and share that with you guys, and in hopes that you guys continue to share it with me, to all my listeners that are also followers on my social media platforms. I'm very much so excited to continue that, and I'm going to stay committed to it, because again, it's helped me even on the shittiest days, y'all, to be able to say, but you know what, that happened and that was dope as fuck. I do have a positive thought for the day that actually I think maybe two that I have to catch up on. So by the time you hear this, you will see that I've already caught up to my positive thoughts of the day on my social media platforms. I mostly do it on IG. So definitely keep an eye out on those. But shout out to you guys who have been so supportive to some of my posts. I've definitely, the concept, not even the concept, the purpose to this show is a double dose of raw talk, right? And here, you guys already know, we get comfortable being uncomfortable. No topic is ever off limits. We talk about different things: adulthood, motherhood, culture, society, shit that happens on the outside, shit that happens within us, love, relationships of all kinds, real shit, real in the news type of shit we talk about sometimes too. And not because we're covering current events, but because of how it can apply to certain things that we may be going through, that I'm going through here, right? There's so much that's discussed here, and it would be disturbing for me to not sit here and keep it all the way raw on things that are very close to me, on things that that do affect me, because you never know who's going through it as well. That's the bottom line. That's it. There's no other explanation to this, and there's no other way in my mind to go about this. You know, it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing that if I'm going to sit here and preach my shit about keeping it raw, well, we're keeping it raw all the way, starting with me. And this is really why I wanted to keep it raw with you guys, of how it's been affecting me, just life, of how it's been so trying, of how emotional I've been. If y'all remember, if y'all been tuning in, you guys know I could cry a whole ocean in a river. And y'all, we've been crying. Like New York City has been getting hit lately with lots of rain. That ain't nothing to what I've been crying. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I just do a really good job with my makeup. But my commitment is always going to be to keep it raw with y'all and to let y'all in. Like I said, it's a deeper look into my soul. And there's been some trying times. And I say all of that to say, commit yourselves to always staying strong with your mindsets, right? With how your mind is set into thinking in any given moment. Try your best. It's not at that point, sometimes it feels like you're battling yourself, but what it really is you are really working through it. Sometimes it's self-therapy. Sometimes it's you giving yourself all the support you need. You know, there was a tweet by a podcaster, musician. She's a singer too, Bridget Kelly from See the Thing Is podcast. And she said, you know, something about not letting like the little things disturb your peace, right? And I retweeted it and I said, you know, I take pride in the level of self-control, something along those lines, about how, you know, self-control has a lot to do with not letting the little things interfere with your peace. And for me, as much as I have been emotional, as much as I've been so struggling with so many things of my life, right? I realized that for 2.5 seconds, I did allow something so little and out of my control. Let me rephrase that. Not so little in the sense that it was nothing important, but something that it was just not a great, you know, like a tremendous, impactful occurrence that's like so life-changing. That's what I mean. I did allow that for 2.5 seconds to disturb my peace. And I had to not only become, you know, self-aware of that quick mindset shift that happened, but I also had to sit there and be like, well, hold up, bitch. Like, where's your self-control? Like, my mind went places, y'all. I'm going to say it. Y'all going to hear about it next week. I was so angry. I was so resentful. And my mind went places that it went places to 10 years back. It went places to 5 years back. It went places where the anger was just so much so there. That's where the disengagement came. That's where my frustration came. That's where I definitely felt like if I have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all type of shit. So that's where I recommend to you guys, because it's definitely been helping me a little bit. One is definitely check your mindset. Don't let it shift so negatively. Be able to give yourself that self-therapy. It's not going to be the same as the therapy that you may normally get. It's not going to be the same, but in that moment, you don't let it take over your entire mind to shift you so negatively, right? Because whatever's in your mind, your body feels too. Remember that. Your body talks to you, right? And stress can affect all of that. So that's one thing, is definitely checking that mindset. The other thing is, and I cannot stress this enough, and I know I have said this before, but y'all stick by us so much in this moment. It is so important to surround yourself with like-minded people. It is so important to stick yourself into spaces with people who truly understand, not necessarily are living your same life, but truly understand that are not just going to sit there and be sympathetic, but they're also going to be empathetic to your situation. And that at times, so much so, even if they haven't lived your life or lived in your shoes for a single second, they could possibly give you a piece of advice. They could possibly give you some sort of support. They can give you some form of motivation. They can give you things like that. And I take pride in that because some of y'all have truly been able to sit there and have truly been able to give me that support. Some of you are so in tune with just a friendship that something's up, something's wrong. And let me just say this, some of y'all I've only known for a year or two. There are people that I know for 20 years and don't even do that shit. There are people that I know for 25 years and don't even do that shit. There are people who know me my whole life and don't even do that shit. And maybe it is because we're so consumed with our lives, right? Because time is of the essence and our schedules be all over the motherfucking place. But it's so meaningful and purposeful and so therapeutic to surround yourself so much so with the like-minded people who can really understand you and truly support you. And so some of you who have been able to do that for me during these tough times, who just knew something was up, y'all, the love is real. And Ms. D's here for y'all. And on that note, guys, my volume is definitely a little low because, as you know, it's been a little tough for me, and I'm not gonna pretend like I'm all chipper and shit. I am okay, but it's just been a lot. It's been a lot, and I've just needed to just zen it the fuck out a little bit. But your girl is back. You guys have a full episode coming in next week. A Dose for the Soul Tuesday mini-sode series is also back with my 5 to 10 minutes. Y'all, this time I'm really going to commit to 5 to 10 minutes. I promise y'all. I appreciate y'all allowing me to give you guys mini doses while you guys have granted me the space and the grace I've needed clearly, spiritually, emotionally, and mentally during these past several weeks. Maybe someday mini doses will come back one more time. I've still definitely executed them like mini-sodes, and that has been the purpose. They've just been a little longer. But, let me know how you guys are doing, especially some of y'all who are so involved as not just parents, but some of y'all are legal guardians without necessarily being the parents. How are you guys doing this shift? How are you guys going into having to provide certain support for your children, for the kids that you are legal guardians of? How are you guys able to do that? I'm balancing that out with your own responsibilities. Let me say this. A lot of people will act like that ain't shit. Y'all complaining. Like that should be nothing. No, it is something. It absolutely is something. It's not. For years, I've seen mothers, I've seen dads too, go into these like frantic schedules, rushing to drop off a kid, then go to work, and then just doing all of that. And the truth is, that's not normal. That's not normal, y'all. It hasn't been for years. And I just want to know how you guys are balancing that out. How are you guys helping yourselves out with that? Some of y'all here might be legal guardians. Some of y'all might be adoptive parents. Some of y'all might be foster care parents, right? Foster care older siblings. Some of y'all's aunts and uncles have had to step in. How is it that you guys are adjusting to those changes? Because let's face it, we're also in times that it's not your normal school year. I had someone, shout out to you, I believe you know who you are if you're listening, who asked me if I was okay with the new system in place of going back to school, given, COVID. Like, this is real shit. There's still so much going on that could still cause so much anxiety, so much stress for us, that we do need to care about and provide that level of support. So let me know how you guys are doing with it. Let me know if you guys have been struggling with anything. We could definitely talk it out. I'm one DM away, or, email the show. doubledose.of.rawtalk@gmail.com, and let me know how you guys are doing. And on that note, guys, like I said before, make sure to tune in next week, because it is a deeper dive, but it's still such a dope guest. You don't want to miss it, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.